Hey guys, what's up? So I'm back with another discussion video today. This kind of links back to my previous video where I talked about the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. It kind of, I suppose it sparks like just a thought process and thinking pattern really about the whole thing. And I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube, like seeing how people react to it and stuff and their take on it, and I thought, oh actually I'm gonna do this for me. So this video basically, the idea is just kind of my thought process on like fandoms, how things get moved and stuff. Yeah, so the question I asked myself, which made me want to do this video, is will fans have an influence on projects going forward in terms of movies, TV shows, you know, games, comics? And it's kind of an interesting debate really. So obviously we know we've got the Snyder Cut of Justice League coming out, which has been, what's it been, like a 2-3 year, I suppose, fan campaign if you like. It's been trending on Twitter, like you always see it, like whenever you search stuff it's kind of someone's always talking about it, and it's been back and forth, like with petitions being signed, you know, people doing videos, doing podcasts on it. It has been a very talked about subject in like the whole nerd community if you like. In a way this is a win for the fans, because me personally, I never thought we was going to get the Snyder Cut of Justice League, because you've seen things like this in the past with projects where, you know, things like they're trending and, you know, the fans want it, and most of the time the studio just go, nah, we've done that, we're not. I think this was kind of like a movement if you like. I'm still a bit like shocked that it's actually happening sort of thing. Yeah, it started, it's like after we saw the, you know, the theatrical cut of Justice League, it straight away, I remember seeing it on things like Twitter and it was like, release the Snyder Cut, and it became a thing. But yeah, so obviously that was like trending a lot, and it got a lot of attention from, like, I suppose people, maybe at Warner Brothers, people in the industry, like fans everywhere, a lot of commentary channels, things like that. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, the only other kind of similar situation we had with this was Sonic the Hedgehog, prime example. Obviously, let's be honest, when we saw the original design, I was like, what is that? That is not Sonic. That was like, they literally took like a hamster, put it in a hedgehog suit, and I mean, what was that? And I remember the backlash that Universal got when that came out, because it was like, I remember seeing it, people like, oh my god, this isn't Sonic, what have you done? Like, you need to change it now. I didn't think, again, they would budge on it, and then they did budge on it, and they redesigned him, and then it turned out to be one of the most successful video game films like of all time, and it looked like Sonic. So it was like, that was kind of, I suppose, one win. That was kind of like what we thought was the peak of the internet at the time, what it could do. Sonic was the first big win for us fans, and then we get the level of Justice League now. So it's gone from like here to there for like Justice League. So it kind of shows that the fans do have a certain say in things, and like with projects moving forward. Right, so the thing that I kind of really baffled me about this whole Snyder Cut of Justice League is, if you look overall in terms of how much, I'm not talking about like the Dark Knight films, I'm talking from, I'd say from Man of Steel, yeah, I'd say from Man of Steel up until, what was it, Aquaman was the latest one. If you look at the individual films, how much they made, it's kind of crazy actually. Like, I've got the stats here, right? So we've got film that takes the top spot, Aquaman made $1.148 billion, right, just let that sink in. And then we had Joker made 1.074 billion. It's crazy. Next one to that was Batman Superman Dawn of Justice, 872.7 million. So this is worldwide. This made at the end of like the film's like tenure. Wonder Woman, $821.8 million. Then we have Suicide Squad, that was 746.8 million. Man of Steel, 668 million, and then at the bottom of the pecking order we have Justice League with just 657 million. Bearing in mind, I think that film's production was 300 million. What I find really crazy about those stats is when I was like looking at them when I was planning this video, of all of them, Justice League was the lowest performing one out of all those of the DCEU films. Yet somehow, by whatever miracle, or whatever, it's the one that got the most attention and the one that had like the biggest fan sort of outburst on it, I guess. I mean, I suppose it's not that weird because, you know, at the end of the day, it's the freaking Justice League. I mean, come on. Like, we've been wanting I mean, this is no disrespect to Marvel, that, because what Marvel have done has been amazing with the MCU, with the Infinity Arc. But Justice League, I think, me personally, I'm a massive DC fan. I think the fault of the live action Justice League film was just saying that was completely like, it's never going to happen. And then when it got announced, we were like, this is going to be awesome, this is what we want, you know, seeing the Trinity, like Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman together, that was just next level. And obviously, as we know, it didn't really pay off. So yeah, I found it a bit bizarre that it was the lowest performing DC film ever. Obviously the demand for it was so high, fans persevered, and lo and behold, 2021, we are getting the Snyder Cut. It's kind of amazing that obviously the power that like internet and social media has, and even to extent the influence the fans have. Because like, if someone had said to me, you know, a couple of years ago, oh, we're going to be getting a Snyder Cut, like, no freaking way. I just didn't think it would happen at all. And then the fact that it's now happening, I'm still a bit like, it's kind of like a pinch me moment sort of thing. It's like, damn, it's actually coming. So the world works in mysterious ways. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, I touched about it briefly in my previous video about the whole Snyder Cut announcement for Justice League. It needs to get clarified a bit, because the Snyder Cut, it doesn't exist. When I was researching to see, it doesn't actually exist yet at the moment. It's a concept, really. I think what a lot of people misconstrued it with it, when I've been watching a lot of videos and reading up stuff, like, they think it's all done and finished. It's not. There's bits I think they have at Warner Brothers, but in terms of a finished product, it's not there. It's not sitting in a vault at Warner Brothers for them to go, oh, there you go, we can just release it. No, they actually need to work on this thing. What's involved with it, from what I understand, and like, don't quote me on this because this is what I'm reading between the lines on it, there's going to be possible reshoots, which we know. Yeah, so I imagine the core 6 of the Justice League, so all those actors, obviously, I imagine they'll be coming back for reshoots, because obviously it makes sense. Obviously, Ben Affleck will be back for Batman, which I'm super stoked about. So, yeah, there's possible reshoots. I think there's new effects they need to work on. New shots. I suppose there'll be like a whole new marketing campaign for it as well, because they're going to have to market the hell out of this to try and build on it. But what I found interesting, there was a quote I was reading on, I think it was IndieWire. Was it IndieWire? Yeah. I was reading on IndieWire, just trying to get ideas for this video and what to talk about. Yeah, so what I found interesting, on this article I was just checking out, like, I'll just read this small excerpt, but yeah, so Bob Greenblatt, he's the chair of Warner Media and HBO Max. So I won't read the whole article, but the bit he read, it was kind of like, okay. So the quote says, talking about the Snyder Cut, it isn't as easy as going out into the vault and there's a Snyder Cut sitting there to be put out. It does not exist. Zack is actually building it, and it's complex, including new visual effects shots. It's a radical rethinking of that movie, and it's complicated and wildly expensive. I'll just say I wish it was under 30 million and stop there. It's an enormous undertaking and very complex. So obviously, it was estimated between 20 to 30 million, like, to get this whole thing finished. From previous things I've read and what a lot of people have been saying on YouTube and stuff, I think, oh god, this was a couple of years ago, I think I remember someone asked Snyder about it. I think he said it would probably be approximately 70 million to actually fully finish it. So the figures are kind of, they don't match up. Could be wrong. Yeah, so the cost, obviously, I think it's going to be a lot more based on what Greenblatt said there. He wishes it was 30 million. And then something else that I found interesting, he said as well. So this is the quote. Since I got here 14 months ago, the chant of #ReleasetheSnyderCut has been a daily drummy in our offices and inboxes. Well, the fans have asked, and we are thrilled to finally deliver. At the end of the day, it really is all about them, and we are beyond excited to be able to release Zack's ultimate vision of this film in 2021. This could never have happened if it weren't for the hard work and combined efforts of the teams at HBO Max and Warner Brothers Pictures. So, it's because of the fans, this, because I think if it wasn't for such this pressure on the studio to try and do it, I don't think we'd be getting it, because, I mean, you know, they could have turned around and said, no, we're not doing it, like, it's done. But then I think they're turning around thinking that of all the superhero films, it's the one that had a lot of criticism in it, and I think now they're thinking that, obviously they're thinking from a business point of view, it's going to make money, without a doubt, because you're going to get people signed to HBO Max, whether it's just a one-off subscription fee just to watch this. It's, you know, from a marketing and business module, they're going to get a lot of sign-ups, because I think it's only going to be available on HBO Max. They're going to get figures in. Obviously, I don't know if they'll release it theatrical It depends on the format. If it's a film, possibly. If it's going to be done as this like 6-part, 8-part series, then I don't know. But there's definitely going to be money for him to be made in it, and I think Warner Brothers know that it's going to have a lot of attention, like even all the critics and stuff. People are going to be interested to see what they do with this film. So yeah, I just found it really interesting the way he sort of said that and worded it. So that was kind of, I was like, okay. Zack Snyder's been pretty busy on Twitter, because what was it? It was the other day. I remember he tweeted out a picture of like Darkseid, and I was like, oh no. So Darkseid's come in, and I think the original actor, I can't remember the guy's name, man, but yeah, I think the original actor was supposed to play him. Even he like said, I can officially say I'm Darkseid, and basically said that he will be in Justice League, the Snyder Cut. Oh man, I mean, if they do it properly, it'll be game changer, because Darkseid is like, for me, he's one of the ultimate DC villains that always gives Justice League a run for their money, always. So to see a live action Darkseid, if they do it right, oh man, it could be next level. So that was like, ooh, that'll be pretty interesting. Again, at the moment, there's no further details than when I did my last video. We don't know who else is going to be in it apart from the core 6. Will we get more Commissioner Gordon? I don't know. Be cool to see J.K. Simmons come back, because he's just awesome. I don't know about Steppenwolf, if he's going to be in it, or if Darkseid's replacing him again. It was literally, we don't know a lot at the moment, so it's a bit up in the air. I mean, we'll just keep an eye on that side of things, really, to see how that goes. So I think, looking at all that stuff, like the statistic stuff, and then just my take on it. So moving forward, I think the next question really, so it's kind of like a sub question, will like movies, projects, things like that be sort of determined by the fandom? Which I think is an interesting subject. With fans, they do these things like test screenings, like you have obviously internet, you have like, you know, comment section, blogs, podcasts. I think there's a committee that deals with like sending out stuff to certain people to review, see what they think, and then feedback on that determines how they move forward with stuff. I think one thing I've noticed that, I mean, social media is like, it's a catch-22. It's good in one way, and another way it can be toxic. But I think when people online say they want something and then it eventually happens, it kind of like, it's a bit of a surreal thing, because like I said, like the whole Sonic change, that was crazy. Now we've got this Justice League, and it's just like, damn. So I suppose us as the fans, in a way, we kind of do have a say, really, because in the end of the day, it's people like us, the fans, that will go and, you know, we'll see it in the cinema, we'll buy merchandise, we'll go to conventions, like, and then they kind of determine what's popular at the time, how things move forward. So in a way, we do get a say. We don't get a say in terms of like who's going to be in it or money and stuff, but like to a certain degree, we do have a bit of an influence on how they make things, I suppose. One thing I kind of don't agree with is fans controlling the direction or medium of a project, and what I mean by that is completely dictating, or well, not dictating, you know, when they say, oh, we want this, we want that, this should be in there. I think for the sake of an overall production, there's things that the executives should listen to, but I don't think it should be purely based on fan stuff, because let's be honest, like sometimes fans, they just want stuff for fan service. There's things I've wanted to see, but necessarily I understand it wouldn't have worked in films or TV shows, so there kind of has to be sort of a boundary, I guess. I think with things like this, I think it should be done on a case-by-case basis, so not everything will end up how Justice League has turned out. But I do think it shouldn't be for everything they make. I think it should be on a case-by-case basis. So with like the Sonic thing, with Justice League, I suppose Star Wars could be another one in a way, I guess. I don't know, I find with the whole Star Wars thing that's a different kettle of fish, because I like being involved with Star Wars, but I just find some of the fans can be very, very toxic, and I mean, I'm not even going to go into that, to be honest, because that's just a whole nother subject, but it shouldn't be for everything. Like, I think with Justice League, that was one that I think had to be kind of looked into, but it shouldn't be for every film, TV show. They should look at it from a business point of view, and then they should also look at it to say, right, what we made wasn't the best, could we do it better? I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they actually sit and look online on comments, blogs, like what people say. Maybe they do, I don't know. Subject to popular opinion, this is probably gonna... It shouldn't anger people, because this is just my opinion, but I think one thing I can honestly say is that the fans aren't always right. That's my opinion. Like, if you agree, that's fine. If you disagree, that's also fine. I just think that, I don't know, like, with certain things where it's been... I think this mostly goes down to things like films and TV shows, more opposed than things like games and anything else. Like, there's things that fans could want. Prime example could be, look at Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. Obviously, we had the Defenders on Netflix, and a lot of people were upset that they were... I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to have seen Daredevil like team up with Spider-Man stuff. That would be epic. It's all the legalities that's not as easy as that. Don't get me wrong, if freaking Kevin Feige turned around and said, oh, we're going to have Charlie Cox, Finn Jones, Kristen Ritter and Mike Coulter, like, so they were going to pop up in Avengers, like, on the street level stuff, like, don't get me wrong, that would be awesome, but it's all the behind the scenes stuff, and there's contracts and stuff, and there's stuff they can do, there's stuff they can't do after a set amount of time. So just overall, like, there's fans that the fans could want, and for the sake of fan service, I mean, fan service is great, we want to see it, like, I love the DC, like, the Arrowverse shows, and when they all cross over, it's great, but I think it has to make sense in the context of a story, and not just say, Green Arrow and Flash are going to pop over to, you know, Metropolis just to hang out with Superman. Like, from a narrative point of view, it has to make sense, and you can't have it for the sake of having it. That's just my take on it. Like, everyone's different. Me, it's for the context of a story, it has to work. I think it doesn't make sense to just have someone pop up in a show for no reason. Not everyone's going to agree on stuff, like, from a fandom perspective, because there's no real right or wrong answer. I guess it's just like how everyone just will look at a project and they'll have their say on it, but then you can disagree, and it's just this domino effect. We're not all going to agree. Like, it's just a given. Like, if we all agree, then there'd be no point for debate and discussion, would there? So there's that equation to it. I think with this whole Justice League Snyder Cut, I think if you have actually, like, tweeted out, brought message boards, commenting about it, I think you're obligated to support it. So there's no point going, oh, we want the Snyder Cut, blah, 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 and then you don't go see it in the cinema, or you don't sign up for the stream service. Like, I don't know, I just think if you really want something this bad and it's happened, I feel like you are obligated to try and support that project. You know, I might not be a long time subscriber for HBO Max, but I hold my hands up. I tweeted about a release of Snyder Cut back in, it would have been 2017-18. So I will, and I've wanted to see it. I've wanted it to happen. So I will, without a doubt, be signing up to support it, because I want to see it. I want to see what they're going to do with it. I just feel like if you sit and, like, you kind of bitch and you moan about it, and then it does happen, but then you think, oh no, I'm not going to watch it. It's kind of like, yeah, I think you owe it to the fandom and to, obviously, the people involved at creating it, to at least check it out, even if it's, like I said, even you just subscribe for just a month just to watch Justice League or whatever, and then, you know, at least you've done your bit. I think you've contributed to it, said, yeah, I wanted it, I've seen it, I paid my money, and I loved it. That's just something I think about anyway. With this whole Snyder Cut, I honestly didn't think it would ever happen, like, personally, because where it's been so long, and I know, you know, Warner Bros. Are trying to work out the whole DCEU, because it was the lowest grossing film out of all their films, for me, I was kind of like, it was 50-50. It was either going to happen, or it was just going to be completely shut away and just thrown into the back of the vault somewhere. But yeah, it's kind of surreal it's happening. I'm really glad it's happening, because I feel like it gives the Justice League a second chance, and I feel that, you know, whatever Zack Snyder is, I feel like he has done a good job. Like, Man of Steel, to public opinion, that's probably one of my all-time favourite superhero comic book films, and I feel like it's seriously underrated, because, don't get me wrong, Christopher Reeve was a great Superman. Obviously, I love Tom Welling in Smallville, but I don't know, I just feel, for me, Henry Cavill Superman, I love that film. Like, I could easily sit there and watch it now. I might actually do that. I just don't think he's been utilised well. I mean, people say he's too moody and broody. The thing is, the Superman in some of the comics, he's not like the typical Boy Scout. He has got a dark side to him, and I feel like Henry Cavill really brings it out. I mean, if you look at comparison from Man of Steel to Batman Dawn of Justice, the character's in a completely different place. So I just think he for me, he's my Superman, basically. Like, every generation has their actor, like, they look at it, like, I think he is my Superman, and I really am looking forward to seeing what they do with him, because I feel like Zack Snyder's going to get it right. It's going to be, the way I see it, this is a whole new thing. Like, it's essentially a Justice League 2.0. And I feel like there's going to be a lot more development, and I just want to see more from the characters. If you sit back and you actually watch the Justice League we got, you can tell the parts that were Snyder's, and then you can tell where Joss Whedon takes over. And that's no disgrace to Joss Whedon, because obviously he's an established and, you know, respected director. I don't know, I just didn't think he caught the DC atmosphere and vibe. It also kind of asked the question with this new cut. I mean, it could be a letdown, we don't know. It could be worse than what we got, it could be better, could be about the same. Everyone should kind of be open-minded. It does entirely depend on the direction they're going to go with it, and how Snyder visions how the Justice League should be. It's an interesting point, because it'll go one of two ways. It's going to be better, it'll be worse, or you got the third option, it's like slap bang in the middle, it's kind of the same. I'm really hoping, and I feel it will be a hell of an improvement, especially if there's reshoots involved. You know, going to keep the faith, I'm optimistic, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing what he does with it, and to see, I mean, because if it's a 4-hour version, and what was Justice League, just over 2 hours, wasn't it? So even though 2 hours is not a lot, but in terms of a film, that's a hell of a lot that's got cut, or that didn't make it. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. I'm looking forward to seeing like a teaser trailer or something, just to, you know, get your excitement sort of going. I suppose to kind of bring this round full circle, to kind of ask the question, will fans influence projects, and should they influence it? I think, to a degree, yes. It's important to get fan feedback, because that can determine what the studios are going to make, you know, what characters it is. I don't think they should rely too much on fan opinion, because at the end of the day, they've got to try and make something that, one, is going to be successful, it's going to make money, and then it opens the doors for possible sequels or spin-off properties. So I think, to agree, yes, it's important the fans have a say, but I don't think they should dominate the overall sort of consensus of it, because, I mean, with Justice League, this is just a prime example of it, really. I think that the fact that the fans have wanted it for so long, and now it's happening, I think the studios have listened, like Warner Bros. Turn around and gone, well, they've wanted it, and at the end of the day, without the fans, they know no one will be going to the cinema, they want to be buying merchandise, they want to be supporting it. It's kind of like made for the fans, really. That's the short version of it. Because at the end of the day, with directors or anyone that wants to go into making these superhero films or being an actor, it's because they're a fan of it. You get some actors that know the stuff. Like, you look at someone like Henry Cavill who knows Superman. Grant Gustin plays the Flash. He knows the Flash. Like, these actors, they know the characters, and they can bring something that maybe a director might not see. Overall, all of this is that everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Obviously, if you agree with someone, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. But at the end of the day, you know, we're all fans, we all love stuff, and being a fan, you can get a bit heated and you get passionate about something. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, we're all here for one thing. We want to see this film after 3 years, a long ass wait. It's coming next year. I think it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to seeing updates on it and stuff like that. We're halfway through 2020, so depending on how like the lockdown and the restrictions go, we could maybe see something maybe towards the back end of the year, where it's a trailer, like a snippet, I don't know, see something. Whatever time it comes out next year, 2021, I will be eagerly looking forward to it. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think. I just thought it was quite a thought out video, this, because I just felt there's a lot of points I wanted to sort of break down and discuss, and then just give my take on the whole situation, really. I'd be interested to see what you guys think, whether you agree with what I say, whether you think I'm chatting absolute shit, which I probably have. I've probably chatted crap for like 15 minutes, I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's an interesting discussion topic, really, things like this. Because it's not really something I've addressed before, or really had the chance to thought about. It's only because of this whole Snyder Cut Justice League thing, I thought, well, actually, sparking my idea for a video. But yeah, that's basically my thought on the whole topic really, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Be interesting to see what anyone thinks about it. If you agree with what I said, if you don't agree, or if there's things you think I missed that you think, oh actually this is an interesting point, I'll be like, oh okay, yeah, I didn't see that. But yeah, let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I'm trying to hit the 150 mark, which would be awesome if I can do that. Just little milestones. And yeah, I'm probably going to continue doing sort of this kind of videos, because I do enjoy these discussion ones. They're quite interesting. And they're easy to edit too. No line-up gameplay. Yes. I will catch you guys in the next video. Hope you're all staying safe, keeping well. And yeah, we'll just see how things go with Justice League.